This is the BMW E46 M3 CSL, a poster car for many, not for me though, because I was 3 years old when this thing came out. Aha, you see, I almost got you there, but now I'm at an age where I can fully understand what cars are. I think this is the best thing I've ever driven. The M3 CSL is special. It was the car that inspired later BMW M models with its carbon fibre roof. It was a benchmark sports car for the early 2000s, and in my opinion, that benchmark still stands. This is what happens when you strip 110 kilos from the standard car. It provides you with easily the best recipe ever. Now, it wasn't long ago since I drove a regular E46 M3, and that was fantastic, it really was. But driving this car today has really made me realise why these demand such a premium, because the difference is unbelievable. It really is. I'm Max Haftavani, and welcome to Driven Plus. Now, when I took delivery of this car yesterday, it would have been, I was itching to get out in it because CSL at the end of the day, never driven one before, so I really wanted to experience what it's all about. So sat in the car, turned to start, which is something you rarely do nowadays, which is something quite nice. And then I looked down at the gearbox and I realised, oh yes, it's SMG, it's an automated manual. Because I've driven one other E46 M3 before and that was a manual gearbox, but you would have thought, at first glance, BMW would have at least give the CSL a manual gearbox, given the extent they went to remove weight from this car. Now, all CSL models came with this SMG gearbox, which is a 6-speed automated single clutch transmission. If you see a CSL with a manual gearbox, it's been swapped. You could never buy these cars with a manual gearbox. Anyway, so I got in the car, put it in its most aggressive setting, so sport button, put the gearbox on its most aggressive setting, which is level 5 by the looks of it. Got it down to second gear like I am now, put my right foot down, makes this beautiful noise, change gear, and then you witness this most aggressive gear change I've ever experienced. And I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not. So I texted my good friend Tommy and I said to him, mate, have you driven the CSL? And he said, matter of fact, yes, I have. And I replied to him and said, well, the gearbox is the most brutal thing I've ever experienced. And he said, yeah, it is. But have you tried lifting when shifting? So obviously lift your right foot, then press to upshift, and then put your right foot down. I thought, matter of fact, I haven't. That's an interesting point. So I went back out on it, got it in second gear like we are now, planted my right foot, lift, shift, and then put your right foot back down and off you go. And now it's perfect. It changes my opinion on this gearbox. Oh, it's so engaging. Yes, I love it. And this engine is an absolute masterpiece. Of course, the CSL is famous for that carbon fibre intake plenum. So when you put your foot down, it makes this noise. Oh, and it just gets your blood boiling. Listen to it. The air sucking into the engine is just, well, I'm sorry guys, but it's orgasmic. It really is. And this is what gives you goosebumps to a car enthusiast. Not just any car enthusiast, one who absolutely loves BMW M cars. This is peak. This is what it's all about. Mind you, let me show you that S54 engine. Now, under the bonnet of the CSL sits a so-called S54 engine. No turbos, just pure, naturally aspirated, 3.2 litres, straight 6, 360 horsepower and 370 Newton meters of torque. And this has more power over the standard E46 M3. That's thanks to an uprated engine such as this carbon fibre intake plenum here. It's got a top speed of 155 miles per hour, which is limited, by the way, which is unfortunate considering it's a CSL. And BMW say it will do a 0 to 60 time of 4.9 seconds. So let's find out. Okay, so it's time to see what the CSL does from 0 to 60. On your screen now are the stats and figures on this car, so pause your screen if you'd like to look into them. Now, I do believe this car does have launch control, but I don't really want to engage it. So what I'm going to do is kind of just build up the revs a little bit and then manually change myself. So if we don't get near to that 4.9 seconds, it's just the fact that I just didn't want to engage it because I do want to treat this car with respect. So anyway, let's see what we're going to get. Quick! I didn't do bad, did I? 4.85 seconds just from a dig. Oh, it's still quicker, only just, 23 years on. Wow. Well, there you go. I don't really need to go. Well, I'd never go again. It was just a one-time wonder this was going to be, just so you guys can understand how fast this car still is in 2025/6. Well, that's what this car stacks up against. Really impressed with that. And let's go back to the review. Now, the CSL had many special parts, and one main feature was this carbon fibre roof, and it's made out of carbon fibre reinforced plastic, and it was the first ever BMW road car to have a carbon roof. How cool is that? It also had thinner glass and more carbon fibre in the interior, and I think just the overall general feel of the interior, the driving position, the cockpit, is just pure for a driving experience. And you had carbon fibre in the centre console, you had carbon fibre on the door cards, and these carbon Kevlar backed bucket seats. And these might be the best bucket seats I've ever sat in. They're not too firm, they're just right again. And of course, this carbon fibre intake plenum, which gives this car one of the best intake noises ever made. If you want to hear this car, you want to hear it coming towards you, not away from you. It also had a big circular cutout on the left side of the front bumper, which was unique only to the CSL. That's to feed more air into this big intake system. And don't worry, I'm not forgetting about this iconic thing, the duck tail spoiler with the M3 CSL badge over there. Again, it's just perfect. Quick question here, can you name me 2 cars with a ducktail spoiler which came after the M3 CSL? Number 1, M4 CSL, and number 2, M2 CS. There you go. And on the bottom of the rear diffuser is carbon fibre with, of course, the quad tailpipes. Mind you, speaking of tailpipes, this is what this car sounds like. And how could I also not forget about these 359M alloy wheels? For me, the best alloy wheels BMW have ever made. And you could buy the CSL in 2 colours, this and the black. And I think this is probably the prettiest M car we've ever seen and most likely will ever see. It's got the perfect ratio, the hips, the profiles. There's one word for this car: perfect. These cars are rare, so I understand not many people are going to have the opportunity to drive one of these cars, and I'm really appreciative that I'm in this driving seat today. But 1,383 units were made worldwide, and only 422 of those came to the UK. And I remind you of that on this little plaque down here in the centre console. But if you ever get the opportunity to drive one, you will quite easily witness perfection. There's one word for this car: it's just beautifully balanced. The feel of it, you stick it around a corner, it just dances around it, it pivots. It's hard to believe that a front engine car can provide this much balance. And of course, you've got that fantastic naturally aspirated engine providing you with instant response. Oh, and it really is just perfect. Well, that's what happens when a car is light. We're talking 110 kilos lighter than the standard E46 M3. The car weighs in at 1,385 kilos. The CSL came with a quicker steering rack, which I can feel because steering feel is just perfect yet again. But over the standard M3, the CSL sat lower to the ground. It had bigger brakes, it had thicker anti-roll bars, and all these things come together and it makes the CSL quite easily indescribable. It's hard for me to describe what I'm feeling. That's why I'm just telling you guys that it's perfect, because that's all you need to know. If you're going to buy one, it will meet your expectations and more. And this thing is still very, very fast by today's standards. And I love this 6-speed SMG gearbox. Got to say though, the downshifts are definitely better than the upshifts. So I'm in 3rd gear now, 2nd gear, pretty much straight away. You know, you plant your right foot. Guys, we've got to find every excuse possible to put my right foot to the floor because of that noise. Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. You compare this to a new BMW M car, right? I'm in 2nd gear now, hovering about 3,000 RPM. If I was in a new M3, I really would have to think twice of putting my right foot all the way down to the ground. But in this, you plant your right foot, haven't got to think twice because the power comes on perfectly. It's just a perfect amount of power. You don't need any more, you don't need any less. And I've got nothing bad to say about this car. Mind you, I do have one bad thing, BMW, to say. You never made enough. Because if you would have made enough, the residuals wouldn't be as high, so therefore I could potentially afford them, because I can't afford one of these cars. That's not a bad point really, is it? No, that's just a first world problem. And I suppose some people might argue with me and say, well, no, Max, they should have definitely come with a manual gearbox. And do you know what? You're probably right. BMW should have probably offered both. But, you know, having said that, I've liked this SMG today. And I'm pretty sure this comes with the base infotainment system. I'm pretty sure it does. It's got no heated seats, hardly any luxury tech. I'd just be happy with air conditioning, and yeah, it's got that. I just like the fact that this is just you and the car, no technology aids. But if you want a proper BMW M experience, you drive the M3 CSL. Now I understand to even buy an M3 CSL is rare, so to even drive one is pretty rare too. So it's a kind of pinch myself moment right now. So I've got to be massively appreciative of BMW UK. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And the M3 CSL for me is the epitome of that M logo. It's BMW M. That's what it is. It's, yeah, it's the halo car. So is this the best car I've ever driven? Yes, because I love BMW M. I love the coupe shape. I love the balance. I love this engine. I love everything about this car. It really is just perfect. But the best car I've ever driven crown might get taken next week. And I'll tell you why. Because they're giving me an E92 GTS. So keep your eyes peeled for an E92 GTS review. I'm so looking forward to that. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.